So it's been a little while since we've talked, and I thought that there was no better time than now. It's the holidays. Let's talk about the top 5 fallacies of the COVID vaccine.
Top 5 with Dr. Dave.
Top five, top five, top five.
Fallacy number 1 is that the science is too new. And so many people are saying, how can they make a vaccine that fast? First off, the science is not new. The vaccine was made quickly. You're right, and we're going to get back to that. But the science is very old. There are a whole bunch of scientists right now, by the way, who are shaking their heads because people are calling the work of the last 15 years, untested and new. Let's go back for a little while. Let's go back to SARS. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, there was the first one, and that was in 2002. You may not remember it. It was 18 years ago, but it was a whole pandemic. You had the luxury of not, remembering it or thinking about it because it hadn't reached our shores, but it killed a lot of people and was very infectious. The science happened right then. They started to understand the genomic sequence. If you figure out what a virus is made up of, you can start to kill it. You can make vaccines and treatments. That started way back when. This whole idea of the spike protein, everybody's learning about a spike protein. Spike protein has been known for decades. So that's old as well. Then another coronavirus came. 2012, MERS. Well, we didn't have to think about MERS too because it was mainly, although not exclusively, mainly in the Middle Eastern countries. It was really nasty. The science was advanced even further there. So the genome sequence of COVID-2 was figured out really quickly, because they had built on the science of these other coronavirus. Here are the parts where the vaccine actually did move very quickly. And there are 3 reasons. 1, literally the entire world poured money into this thing. When you pour that kind of money into anything, it's going to move. The second thing is that this is not a conventional vaccine. This is a newer form of vaccine that doesn't have to take as long to make. And the third part, so we had never done this part before, pushed the 3-phase clinical trial sequence into 2 phases. And the only reason we were able to do that was because the vaccine was overwhelmingly safe. Fallacy number 2, you can actually get COVID-19 from the vaccine. Yeah, no. Okay, so let's stop for a second. The only way to get COVID-19, coronavirus disease, is through a coronavirus. This vaccine does not have coronavirus. There's no virus at all in these vaccines. They have RNA. So the RNA in the vaccine causes your cells to make a little bit of that protein called a spike protein, okay? And your body develops an immune response to the little proteins. So what people are probably thinking about is the vaccine that you've all had, right? If you're watching me right now, you've had this. And not very many people know what rubella is. You know what rubella is? No, me neither, right? Mumps. Nobody knows what that is. You don't want to know what that is, trust me. And the reason why you don't know what that is because the vaccine worked. You had multiple doses of the MMR vaccine, and that MMR vaccine actually had attenuated viruses in it. That vaccine that had virus in it, it was a weakened virus, worked so well that number 1, you didn't get the disease because you were immunized, and number 2, the actual immunization, the vaccine itself, did not give you the virus. Okay, so we're good. Okay. So fallacy number 3, there's no way that I would get sick if it's not giving me COVID-19. So I'm going to tell you, this is a really, really good point. And this is what scientists have been grappling with since way back 2003, 2004. And it's the difference between the effect of the virus on the body itself and the effect of your immune response. The host immune response is what scientists call it. And when I talk to my colleagues who are in intensive care units across the country, what they say is that a large amount of what patients are feeling is their own immune system trying to fight this. And some people have a really aggressive, dramatic, and robust response to this virus that is unlike other viruses. And we're still trying to understand that, but that's what people are seeing. So when somebody gets this current vaccine, they are getting RNA. So any symptom that they're having is their immune system responding to it. Fallacy number 4 is that the new vaccine changes your DNA. And so I could see, if this were true, how scary that would sound. Like it's Frankensteinian, like you're trying to, like what are you fusing together in your experimentation? There is no way for the RNA to get in and to change your DNA. Got it? Fallacy number 5. I'll just wait for herd immunity. Wrong. Negative. First off, let's not kid ourselves. There is no evidence that we have right now from, studies of 10, 12 years ago or studies now that suggest that if you get this virus, that you have long-lasting immunity. The second part of this is, in order to develop immunity that you don't already have, you've got to be exposed. So you either get exposed to the virus, that means you get the virus, you contract the virus, or you get the vaccine. Lastly, in order for there to be herd immunity, the vast majority of us have to be immune. That includes you. So in order to be immune, you either have to get the virus or get the vaccine. And that is it. Think about it.
Top five, top five, top five.